over here?
I don't know. Excuse me. Excuse me, pardon me. I'm with her. Excuse me, pardon me. I know Leah. Excuse me. I got somebody here.
Yep.
Do you have any funny booth stories?
Do I have any funny booth stories? There should be a whole separate panel called Booth Stories. I have a lot of funny booth stories, but they are rather embarrassing. I mean, who stands up here with a microphone and humiliates themselves? Me, right? Funny booth story, funny booth story, funny booth story. You know what? I always end up telling funny booth stories on other people, like their funny booth stories. Let me think, what's a funny booth story? You know, one time I was recording and I took a cup of coffee into the booth with me. It was early in the morning, and so I took in this cup of coffee and I was holding it in my hand while I was recording. And I was doing this line. I was being all serious. And I moved real quick and I spilled the coffee and I was doing my lines. Ow! And that scared the daylights out of the engineer and the director. They're like, what happened? I was like, nothing. So they had no idea. And then there was coffee on the floor and it smelled like coffee. Because the recording booth is like a phone booth. It's like a TARDIS with padding on the inside. It's not bigger on the inside, I promise you. And so you don't want to spill anything in there because it just smells all day like coffee. Yes?
Any other question for everybody? Hip.
Apart from Cosmonaut Fest, what sort of shows have you done that are now finished that you miss and wish you could have continued?
Apart from Full Metal, what shows are finished now that I wish there were more of, or?
That you miss the most?
Well, I definitely miss Full Metal. Definitely miss. In fact, when I realized that I was recording the last line from Brotherhood, you know, that whole last thing where Ed says, you know, there's no such thing as equivalent exchange, it doesn't exist. And I realized that that was, in all likelihood, the last time I was ever going to be recording Edward Elric. So I was really getting kind of sad. And I actually took my phone out and I put it in video recording and I sat it on the window and recorded that line because I wanted to like record having the last line of Full Metal. And it's actually on YouTube. You can even see it on YouTube. I put it up online. But, or on High School also. Vampire Night, I really loved. Tsubasa, I'd love for there to be more Tsubasa. I heard there was going to be more Full Metal Panic, but I don't know. I just, you know, I love all the things I get to do. So it makes me sad whenever any of them are over, because I really enjoy them. Where are you? Yes?
I'm right at the back.
Yes.
If you could what is your favourite line ever from Full Metal Alchemist?
Oh my gosh. Favorite line from Full Metal?
Not including the last one.
Oh, well, gosh, there are so many. By the way, I've never seen an Edward Elric with a hollow mask. That is the coolest thing ever. And a Keyblade. Wow, you're just like a big orchestra of different animes rolled together. You know, there were so many really good lines from Full Metal. You know, I mean, everybody loves the short rants. You know, people like it when Ed freaks out. But I always tended to like the quieter ones. You know, for me, I enjoyed like when Ed was talking with his brother quietly or with the emotional moments. I love those. But there was one yelling line that I really enjoyed. Do you guys remember the episode in the first series when Ed was fighting Roy? Remember that? It was called Full Metal versus Flame. And Ed's out on the battlefield getting ready to fight Mustang. And he says to Alphonse, he's like, "This is a great day, Al. The day I get to punch him in the face and get some damn respect." And Alphonse says, "What's your strategy, brother?" And Ed goes, "I told you! A fist in his That's my favorite. That's one of my favorites. Yes.
Yeah, question from Black Widow.
Oh, wait a minute. Here, hold on. Here's a text message from Italy. I'm gonna write back, great. Yes, great. Go for it.
My friend has lost her voice, so I'm asking her question. She wants to know how you feel about the Oran High School bloopers.
Waiting for you, the Oran Host Club. Well,
I love the bloopers. We have so much fun doing. You know, you guys, a lot of times they won't let us do bloopers. I mean, you'll never hear the bloopers. A lot of times the companies that own the anime, they don't want any bloopers on the DVDs. Because some of the companies feel like it's making fun of their show. You know what I mean? Which of course it's not. But there are some companies that take the shows very, very seriously. And so they don't want you like having the characters say things they wouldn't normally say, or having them mess up, or use profanity, or whatever a voice actor does in a blooper. So that's why you don't get to see a lot of bloopers, but every once in a while, they'll let us do bloopers. So when we got to do them for Oran, we had so much fun getting to do those. And we didn't even realize they were keeping them until about halfway through the series. And then when you realize they're keeping them, then you start wanting to think of fun things to do as a blooper because you know people are actually going to hear it. It's, you know, there's no point recording a blooper when you know nobody's going to hear it, right? So you may be recording and you think of something really funny you want Tamaki to say, and you think like, well, why do it? Because nobody's ever going to hear it. But when we knew they were going to be using bloopers on Oran, we tried to come up with some fun stuff.
okay, we